Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do start, let's give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. We had Deku, and we also had the Spider Brothers. Now, Carnage was used by Norman Osborn to try and take over New York City and cause chaos. Now, Norman Osborn was betrayed by the Jackal and his boss, and Norman paid a price. His life. The Jackal gave Norman a serum that would control Carnage, keep him loyal and docile, and make him listen. But there was a drawback to it. Undiluted, it can actually harm the symbiote, cause rapid cell death, and most likely would have destroyed that piece of Carnage. But Carnage, tough and resilient, hard to kill. And the last thing it did after it left Norman Osborn was jump to Ben Reilly. And Ben, yeah, that really was not a fun day. Not for him. Now, Norman Osborn died, and Harry Osborn, he lost his mind due to, well, having his unstable mind exposed to carnage. A serial killer's thoughts and emotions were put into his head. He was already unstable and borderline psychotic. However, now he's full on and that is not really even a joke. Now, with that being said, we currently have Deku. It has been almost, what, 3 months? It's been 3 months since he found out he was going to be a father. And right now he does stand here surprised, scared, fear, knowing whenever danger's coming to him. He is good at that. I mean, he had an alarm in his head and he relied on it for a lot. And trying to be Spider-Man right now, yeah. He knows how to jump, swing, and shoot. He has his powers, but his spider sense, it's gone. I mean, it's like the entire world's made of venom. He doesn't know what will happen. He doesn't know who's going to attack him or strike him. He's a bit more aware of the danger now. I mean, swinging through the air and reacting fast, yeah, but he can only react to something that he sees. He's not trained that way. Yeah, he's been through a few things, and in his almost 5 years of being Spider-Man, he's learned a lot, but reacting to danger and training to react to it and be aware of it all the time, he's never had to do that. And now he does. It's hard. It's distracting. He's almost fallen out of the air just by doing this, trying to pay attention and be more aware. But more importantly, he's got a lot going through his mind. Deku's swinging through the air, and someone to look around. His eyes constantly scanning. Him going up on his swing and throwing it his other hand. Him looking around, firing, and going to swing again. It's a bit more surprising. Being more aware of the world. I mean, it just makes him more aware of his worries. Spider-Man, his public image, if people are okay, if he's okay. If Ben and Mom are going to be okay. He doesn't know what Carnage did to her. What she saw inside that thing's mind. He says some pretty weird stuff, but damn. It worries him. Exposure to the symbiote and then going cold turkey on it is rough to the system. So it's got to be hurting her. Though maybe he'll check by and see if she's awake later. Yeah, that would be good. Now, Deku is going to get an alert. Him going to bring his hand out and grabbing onto his columns. Now, Deku, he doesn't start hearing a voice. It being Steve Rogers. Hey Cap, what's going on? Are you busy at the moment? Kind of. Going through the air. I kind of need to focus a bit. Focus? Yeah. It's a bit hard to explain. Long story short, early warning system's gone. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, turns out it helped me with a lot of stuff. So what's up? Well, do you think you can stop for a second so I can have your full attention? Yeah. They're going to swing upwards. Him going to look down as he actually does a land. Him going to roll a bit as he does a stand back up. Him going to ask, so, what's up? Hmm. I needed to ask some questions. Anything strange popping up recently? Strange how? Metas. Possibly anomalies. Things that are different. I've heard rumors that there might have been something new going on, and I wanted to check in with you. You're down and below and on the streets. You know the neighborhoods. Not anything I've seen so far. Nothing really ordinary. Just, they're gonna turn his head. As someone, they swing by, yelling wahoo. And they're gonna turn and walk over. Uh, I'm gonna have to call you back. What is it? I think there's another spider person in town. They're gonna hang up. As Cap went to go open his mouth. And right now Deku does a jump off and swing. Him gonna chase after them. Now, the person right now, they do go up on their upswing. Them going to flail their hands out and try to at least throw out their hand. Them shooting a web and going to swing again. And Deku, he actually has to get out in front. Him talking about it. Pull over! And the person they turned. Holy crap, it's Spiderman! Pull over! How are you? The person going to jump up, getting right next to Spider-Man and looking at him, talking about it. Hey, can they get some tips on this? They're kind of new to this. Now, did to throw out his hand. Him grabbing the person and going to swing. Him going to turn and land onto a building. Him throwing his feet out and going to land. However, instead, he actually is going to hit the side of the building. Him falling backwards as the two go tumbling onto the building. And Deku is going to get back up. Ah, damn it. Hey, what was that for? Didn't do the math right. Are you okay? Well, I'm better than okay. I woke up this morning with powers. It's awesome. How? Now, the guy is going to turn. I'm going to walk over and talk about it. He knows a few people who woke up this morning with powers. I mean, yeah, he's seen people swinging around, but last night he tried to jump off of a building and he discovered this. It's awesome, right? I mean, he wasn't too sure, but after the first time, he thinks he's getting the hang of this. Uh-huh. How in the hell? They're going to turn. As right someone they're screaming out after they jump from a roof. And Deku does to watch. They throw out their hand and shoot a web. And Deku does to watch them go to swing up on the uptake. Deku going to throw out his hand and blast at a web. As the person, they are actually able to be caught by a giant spider web. And Deku, he has to stare up. The person smashing into it and going to stop. Them jumping back and forth as they do sit upside down. Staring at... Oh, hi Spidey. Okay, what is going on? I honestly don't know. It just happened. Did it happen for you? The person's going to turn, bring up their hand. Before at least going to try and shift it around, because to them it looks like a thumbs up. But to them it doesn't. Now, they're going to stare on. And Ryan is going to turn and make a phone call. Him going to report back to Captain America. Yeah, people with spider powers popped up. And he's kind of confused about all that. Anything weird happened to them? I don't think so. I'm going to turn. And Deku, he doesn't watch that the person's gone. I'm going to look around. We're going to look up. And the person who was inside the web, they already got away. And Deku already knows it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? So what will it be this time? I'm going to walk over to the edge and jump. Now, it takes Deku a few minutes, but he does got to get over to the hospital. Him going to change. As he's going to walk in, he does got to try and see his mother. However, a few people in the waiting room, they're actually sitting there. And Deku does to see it. I mean, There's not a lot of them, but they're coming in with sticky hands. I mean, there's two? No, no, three of them. That kid's hiding it, but his hand is stuck to his pants, and he doesn't know how to get it off. This is weird. They're gonna walk in, and Rita doesn't actually sit down in his mother's hospital room. He doesn't sit there. He has a lot going through his head. Being Spider-Man is a little bit more tricky. I mean, luckily, it's gotten better. Ah, crap. Just his luck. I mean, maybe things will be okay. I mean, she's tough. She'll pull through, right? I mean, it's freaking mom. After everything she's been through. Damn it. He wishes that there was something he could do. Okay. Shit. Maybe. No, no, no. That may not work. Okay, okay, okay. Maybe. Maybe. That's a terrible name. He's still got to workshop it, but maybe the industry idea is a good idea for him. I mean, if he thinks about it, more tech, more gadgets. Maybe his own freaking secret lair. Underground? No, cave. Definitely a cave. I mean, lair makes him sound like a supervillain. Excuse me. Hmm? Oh, sorry, sorry. I was. No, no, it's quite alright. Your mother's a tough woman. Thank you. She's been through a lot. I'm sure she has been. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I don't want you to be upset. But the results are not good. How bad is it? Well, from what we understand, there's been a lot of strain on her heart, and her metabolism it was in overdrive for a number of hours. Along with that, well, the stress on her liver and kidneys is sufficient, and there's a good chance that she may need surgery, possibly donations and a new kidney, at the very least one. Right now, we got her stabilized, but they could fail. Her heart could fail, and that's an issue. I I don't know if that. How much would that be? Well, right now, I'd say she's fine, but possibly within the next few months, if we're lucky, she'll need to get those replaced. There's a few things we can do. I mean, look into it and call a specialist. Get her placed on list and see if insurance will cover it. At least get her bumped up. You understand? I I do. I do. This must be a very hard time for you. Yeah. I mean, I don't want her to miss her grandchild's birth. I'm sorry. How far along is your wife? 3 months? And I'd say at best, she has more than six. You think so? Yeah. You said she's tough. I mean, there's special treatments we can use for right now to keep her healthy enough, but keeping her off her feet is a majority of the. I'm. I'm sorry. It's just. It's a little bit emotional for everyone. I understand. Thank you. I'll leave you to it. The person gonna turn and walk away, and Deku does sit there. As right now an old woman is walking in, her with a cane and glasses covering her eyes. As Deku, he doesn't hear them. Them gonna walk up and express. He should be aware. There are many things amiss, and he has been witness to some, hasn't he? Hmm? Who are you? My name is Madam Webb. I believe it is time that we finally meet. I know that you've heard of me. Your name. The spider told me about you. So you've spoken with the spider. Hmm. That is good. That will save me time, because time is of the essence. It is important that I inform you. More totems are popping up. Totems? False totems. Whatever this is, it is weird. It is affecting the outcomes of the future. And I'm worried about that. Okay. Cindy said you talked to her. You said something to her. What are you doing? I've come to help. Can't you see? I'm here because you've affected fate. You should have already died. Excuse me? You've defied fate multiple times, multiple numbers of occasions. The first time you ever were Spider-Man, you should have died. Young. But you didn't. You battled against Moreland and defied fate again. Whenever you survived, you managed to be reborn and talk to the spider. You know them better than I do. You might know the creature that dwells within the web, but I myself have seen it longer than you have. In my long life, I have done quite a bit. Now, let's make things quite clear. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you find the right future. Because if you do not, the outcome will be disastrous. And why should I trust you? Because you know I'm telling the truth. You need help. You need to properly learn. Train. And while you do that, you must make a choice. And you already know where I'm going with this. Can't I? No. You're saying... You're saying I have to choose between her and... I'm afraid so. You're lying. I am many things, but a liar I am not. We're going to step forwards and express. Izuku knows much of sacrifice, and he knows much about having to give up. Sometimes there are things that he cannot win, and sometimes things are bound to happen, bound by fate. Sadly, though, they must change much. They must change the trajectory of his life. If his mother is alive, then a number of events may unfold, and that is bad. However, if he focuses on his training, develops himself, becomes stronger for what does have to approach, what will come, that means he will survive. The world may survive, and so will the web. The web will be harmed, pushed to an extreme it's never been, and the new one that has been woven, it may not survive. What may happen? Now, they're going to sit there. Him going to turn, stand up, and walk out. And Madam Web is going to sit there for a second. Her going to turn. There's a number of things that she's seen, a number of futures that are out there. But there's only one where everyone turns out okay. And that future is very, very bad. But there's also another, a minuscule hope. One day a hero will return to the world, return as a better man, a different person, try to correct a wrong, fix a mistake, try to avenge everyone. That future is far and in between, but perhaps it's not off. That future, that one future, that one small change, small difference. It could very well save a lot of people. And that made us decide the fate of everything. Now, Manawa was going to leave the hospital, and Deku, he went out and changed. If he has to choose between his mother and the world, what does he choose? I mean, people are running on with spider powers, and he's just. Him going to turn and smash his fist out into a building. Him going to crack the side of it. As right now, Deku, he has to stare at it. He's going to look down. He needs to talk to somebody he can punch. He's to train, right? Someone he can not hold back against. Someone he can get angry against. Someone who can take it. Take the beatings. And that leads Deku to make a phone call. There's one person he has in mind. One person who might be able to withstand it. And he's wondering if it's a good idea. Now, we do actually have Deku, who does get to see Ben Grimm, and the man was quite surprised. He called later in the afternoon because he wanted to learn how to throw a punch. I mean, he's seen the kid throw a punch. He can throw a punch. And Deku, yeah. Whenever Ben is going to see his form, the way he does someone act, and whenever he does at least know that Deku wants to train a bit more because of his spider sense being off, the two, they get into a bit of a ring. They put on the gloves, I put in heavy air quotes, and right now they do stand there. And Ben is trying to talk to Deku. He wants him to not hold back, to actually throw around some power and see how he does do. And he does want him to know. He can take whatever he does good to dish out. Last time they fought, I mean, yeah, he was outmatched, but he still got some good hits in. Just gotta say, he thought he had a shiner for a few days. Thanks. But, you sure? Kid, come on. What's the worst thing you're gonna do? Now, we do cut to Johnny, who was about 2 stories up, and about 125 feet to the right. Now, Johnny, he does lay in his bed, and right now he does hear a loud crash. Him hearing it again, as right now the thing is sent flying out of the Baxter building. And Johnny is going to get up, walk out of his room, and going to turn. Him going to see a massive hole, about probably 25 feet down the hall. He's going to walk over. Him going to look out of it, look up, and then going to look back down. Him going to see Deku, who does want to stand there with his fist up and pointing that direction. Now, Deku, he has to stare at Johnny, and Johnny, he does it a wave. We're going to turn around and walk back to his bedroom. Now, Ben Grimm was quite alarmed, and right now whenever Ben came back, he kind of realized a few things. 1, they need a place they can spar, someplace private and open. 2, the kid definitely hits harder than he looks. I mean, shit. And number 3, a few things have been happening since Deku, he's been a bit distracted. He was told about his choices, the world or his mother. Now, the Scarlet Spider, he was out on patrol. He was swinging through the air and doing quite a bit. And he had a lot going through his own head. He ran into Felisa Hardy. He ran into her tonight, and she was quite annoying. But then again, it was kind of fun. The chase. I mean, he might not be Izuku, but Felicia, she definitely knows how to play. A bit fun? I mean, yeah, let loose a bit. Enjoy the chase. He kind of likes it. Kind of likes her. Then again, she doesn't really know a lot about him. She's seen a face, but no name to compare it to. It is kind of fun. Now, right now as Kane is swinging through the air, there actually is Ochako, who does come swinging up in her own homemade costume. Her flying past him, as right now her legs are still somewhat swinging through the air. And Ben is going to give chase. Ochako going to shoot out her hands, and he's trying to continue on with what she's doing. Her trying to stay focused. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Okay, right there. Okay, okay, okay. Her feeling her spider sense go off, shooting out a web and directing it at a certain spot. Now, Ochako does try to follow her spider sense, the same way Deku did in the beginning. And right now, Ochako, she goes through her own crash course. And Kane is going to follow right behind her. And Ray does actually swing past her. He has to reach his hand out and grab her. The two falling towards a building as Kane, whenever the two flew past one, he shot at his web and pulled. The two being somewhat jolted back forwards. As they rolled back downwards and Kane stuck to the side of a building. Him could actually somewhat pull Ochako a bit away, asking her what the hell is she doing? Hey, hi. Um, Red? Number one, how the hell do you have powers? Number two, when did you get powers? And number three, you made the right choice calling me Red. Right. So what happened yesterday, or, well, technically, earlier today? I don't know. I woke up with them. Right. I'm being serious. Can you let me go? I don't. Her gonna turn, bring her hand out onto the building. And right now she has to try to at least bring her hand back away. Come on, come on, come on. Relax. Relax your hand. Like a muscle. Ojaka gonna turn, looking down, and going to somewhat try to relax her hand. Her gonna press down as the building starts to crack. And Kane is gonna tell her, easy. Sorry. Her putting her hand back. And it worked. It's that easy? No, you just got lucky. Funny. No, I'm being serious. That is hard to do. Also, how much shit did you break? Not anything. Why? Okay. Tense up your hands and climb up the building. Follow me and we can figure this out. Honestly, I gotta show you off to Cindy and Izuku. I'm not some stupid pet or trophy. I never said you were. They're going to hear about this. Trust me. Kane going to actually turn. Him leaping off and going to swing. At least going to tell Ochako. Keep her legs together. And at least try to work on flexibility later. So she can actually move better through the air. Also, kicking the legs, it kind of just slows her down. Now, Ochako does it to watch Kane swing away. Her going to mimic his movement and finding that it does feel a bit more aerodynamic. Now, the two do go to swing through the air, and Deku and Ben Grimm, the two are throwing around some punches. And Deku is actually somewhat letting loose on Ben Grimm, and Ben's actually a bit more surprised. Spider-Man cutting loose is a bit more serious than he thought, and Deku's got a lot on his mind. He was basically told to let his mother die to save the world. And that isn't a thing he can think about. It's not possible. It's not fair. It's not fair. Now, with that being said, we do actually have the next day, where Deku, he had a lot happen. Osborne Industries, or Oscorp, whichever you prefer, they are shutting down House. They are withdrawing tons and tons of funding, shutting down a lot of projects and a lot of things. And Deku, his scholarship to the Osborne University and that guaranteed job just went right out the window. Now, with that being said, Deku, he does head back home. And right now he does use what he could from the degree he got to figure a few things out. Maybe, yeah, maybe being a scientist would help. I mean, just doing something would help. Yeah, he'll do that. They're a bit stressed out. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.